Welcome back, my fellow Amazonians. So, again, I want to take this moment to introduce our very special guest, Dr. Epa, who is on the Restoration Council. She's also the chairperson for Guti LGA. Dr. Epa, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Epa, how are you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm happy to be with you, and I'm also happy to know that my other colleagues are in this broadcast. And I want to give thanks to our brave boys and girls who are actually fighting for the liberation of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. We're honored to have you. We're very honored to have you. So we just listened to the president's address to the restoration forces. The motto inside that his address was "Go for them." Go for them. Dr. Aya, as you know, I always like to start with women first, as you know, our ladies first. When you hear this statement from our president, "Go for them," what does that draw to your mind? What does that bring to your mind?
Wow. That just tells you of a commander-in-chief who is confident of his restoration forces, and he knows of their capabilities, and that's the reason why he can say that with all certitude. So that was very powerful. It was a very, very powerful message to our restoration forces. First of all, a message of gratitude for all that our restoration forces have been doing and are still doing, for all the sacrifices, and also a message of courage, telling them you're now well equipped, you're up to the task. So this is a commander-in-chief who knows what's going on exactly on the ground, and is encouraging our restoration forces that it is time to change the game with such confidence. So I think that's a very powerful message to all our county defenses, to the county marshals. Thanks.
Yes, my brother Walter, Press Secretary Walter. As Dr. Ab mentioned, the president took a moment to recognize all the restoration forces in all the 13 counties. And he also pointed out that the La Republic and security forces, they are targeting our own restoration forces. They don't wait for them. They're not going to the camps anymore to go hunt for our restoration forces. They're actually hiding and doing strategic targeting of our restoration forces. In your mind, do you have any advice to our restoration forces as they have been activated by the president? What general advice do you have to give to them as they go out to do the work that has been asked?
Thank you. It is often said that surprise can always beat the strongest. The president and the commander in chief is actually a strategist. He has very efficient and what we call a powerful approach in the liberation of our land and the restoration of our statehood. His statement reminds me of the Six-Day War between Israel and the Arab nation, where the Egyptians got ready just to come to Jerusalem with jet bomber. But that night, Israel surprised them and destroyed the whole airport, including their planes. So they were handicapped. So the president is quite conscious and directing this war. That's why you see we are recording a lot of victory. Firstly, the camps of the restoration fighters are invisible to the eyes of the intruders and the occupiers. So at this moment they are confused because they know exactly this is exactly what was going to happen as far as it was concerned. So when we go now for the offensive, we were mainly defending ourselves, but now we have to fetch them all over where they are in our land and go out and throw them out from our land. So I think that is a signal to the world and to La Republic in particular that now we had moved from
You have disturbed my
war
call
of
now. I'm not even in
expression,
the meeting.
bare hands, then guns, to to sophisticated arms, and we are more than ready and more than strong in order to persuade this war. So that is why he quite encouraged his soldiers now to take this move. And the next move again will be coming from time to time for them to completely eradicate the Republic soldiers within our land.
That is very true. Right now, it is very necessary for us to begin to eradicate the La Republic soldiers that are within our territory, because they're a huge cankerworm, that is annoying us to death. There's some things that they've done this morning. I've seen the pictures. I'm very disturbed and annoyed by what I'm seeing. It words can't be put into place for what is being seen right now in FAKO County in particular. But we'll address that later on during the show. So let's take a look at some of the statements the president made during his speech at the beginning of the year. One of the lines that the president stated, Dr. Yaya, was he said that imagine for a brief second that the political, educational, and legal subjugation of our people and the economic exploitation of our God-given resource by French Cameroon, even in the heart of a raging war, has not abated. Dr. Yaya, I mean, it's unimaginable, right, that we're in a war in La Republic. They continue to feed fat off of our strength, off of our God-given resources, off of our God-given wealth. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's the character of an oppressor, isn't it? That's the character of a thief. That's the character of a cheat. You exploit the people and you disregard them, you disrespect them and humiliate them. In fact, dishonor them to the point of dehumanizing them. So no surprise, no surprise. For a long time, our people have been playing the peace game of, yeah, we are peaceful people, and we truly are, but it doesn't mean we are stupid people. This is a legal case, and we know that we're right, and we are taking the game steps further. And this is why, for once, we're seeing the president sound so confident, telling our restoration forces, now it is time to go on the offensive, because for a long time, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my camera here. Okay. Yeah. For a long time, we have been, on the offensive, or sorry, on the defensive, waiting for this enemy who has been so destructive, doing all the atrocities and doing our best to defend ourselves. That it is time to change the game, because the enemy has actually changed the game. And even what we call a war, they are not actually fighting a war. Because in a war, you actually fight those who are fighting you, meaning you go after the soldiers, or you go after whichever group that is actually involved or engaged in, the physical fighting. So what have they got to do with moving into villages, burning down villages, taking out families, innocent kids and women, and killing them? That is not a war. That is outright genocide. So this is something that the international world really needs to register. They have done, I mean, La République du Cameroun, of course, French Cameroon has, from a series of lies and cops and, window dress solution to claim that, give us names and call us terrorists, tried all sort of so-called fake peace deals, but it's been very obvious. It's very obvious by now to the international world that we know what we want, and we stand for legality, and we have a case. So, yes, that's the character of a thief. That's the character of a cheat. I'm not surprised. What we have to do is what we are doing. We have come from a position of talking, pleading for, an audience to be heard, to the point of being slaughtered, and still we watched and waited, to the point of getting up and saying, no, enough is enough. I have to defend my mother, my father, my sister, my child. And now to the point where we have to take the pain on their side, because they have caused too much pain and still continue to do that. We can see the current events unfolding in FAKO. which is horrendous because the people they are attacking are not soldiers. So that is not a war. Thank you.
Yes, what Comrade Walter, what Dr. Yaz said is very right. It's very unfortunate what we are seeing and the way La Republic is conducting this war. I mean, their barbarism knows no boundaries, and I personally, I mean, I understand the Geneva Convention, but the world is seeing that La Republic is not respecting the Geneva Convention. The world is seeing that, and the world has not activated the right to protect. And I'm still of the opinion that if La Republic, for some strange reason, miraculously defeats us, the world will not hold La Republic and its insecurity operatives and its government responsible for any war crimes that they have committed against we the Amazonian people. And as a result, I personally think that we should conduct this war and our restoration forces should conduct this war in a way that the gloves are off and we're not taking any more prisoners irrespective of what happens because it's too much has gone on. But my brother Walter, and this kind of flows into this conversation that one of the statements that the president made. He said, cumulatively, we have registered record-breaking progress in our self-defense infrastructure in spite of French Cameroon's escalation of the war during the pandemic. As you have seen, Brother Walter, La Republic has not slowed down its attacks on Amazonia. Please advise our restoration forces about how they should be treating La Republic, because this is serious business. La Republic isn't joking around.
Oh, for sure. I think from the very beginning, being that we were peaceful people, we thought about ourselves that might be this includes are peaceful like us. We thought that there is a possibility that just by dialogue we can be able to reach an understanding for common interests. But we realize that these are people who constitute of three characteristics: just to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And there is no way you can change them with these criteria. So consequently, throughout this transition, we have been educated and empowered in such a way that we have a deep understanding about who these enemies are. It is for this reason that we are not going to take it again as a safari tour. No, it's going to be fire for fire. From the beginning, they also thought that maybe we have less strength. That's why we're described as 2 cubes of sugar. So they thought it's easy to override us, thereby now taking an offensive approach whereby they will subject us into acceptance. And then we continue to build their slave. Little did they know that you can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. We have been able to be aware of all these obnoxious vices. And I think that we are now capable, and the boys on the ground are really aware of what is happening. And they are now having what they call sophisticated arms ready to defend their land because they know very well that these are not people we can live with. These are not people we can collaborate with. So consequently, they have no other choice but to shoot. I will tell you, for example, if you take an analysis of what we had, all the restoration camp was about 20%. But now, at this moment that we speak, we have more than 85% of restoration camp which are invisible to the eyes of La Republic. And this is what has frustrated them to carry out stupid attack. That is why Comrade Dr. Yaya mentioned that they don't even know what is war. They have become so frustrated that their own war is towards the civilian and not towards the military people, the restoration forces that are defending our land. I'm very sure that Dr. Epa will be able to expand on this. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you,
Dr. Epa,
Comrade.
again, Dr. Epa, just to greet you again, it's an honor to have you with us, especially since you're the chair of Nguti LGA, you're part of the Restoration Council. So you are going to bring us a wealth of knowledge of why we need the LGA system, why we need the county system, why we need a Restoration Council. Please, let's break this down for the layperson. What do you understand by the county LGA system that has been instituted by the Federal Republic of Amazonia and the IG?
Well, my comrades, thank you again one more time. You see, when the president conceived the idea of local government by local government, county by county, it was a very strategic move because he has that positive vision of making things work. It boils down again to his leadership. Though everybody claims to be a leader, but um, he is a kind of leader which I will expound subsequently. But when you go to the local government and the LGAs, it means that the decision making has been shifted from bottom up. He has thrown the ownership to every Cameroonian, every Southern Cameroonian, Ambazonian, to make decisions. They are all involved in the decision making, not just at the federal level, and the decisions are pushed down. That is why we are very strong. That is why our restoration forces are strong. That is why every of our people are supporting us, because the decisions are made at the local level, at the county level. Then the federal level is only to coordinate the activities. That is the work of a transformational leader like His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ekomesako. And I think by this setup, there is nothing that La Republic can do to defeat us. They can scheme around, use even our people who are enablers to target our boys and girls who are fighting for the liberation of our homeland, but they will never succeed because God is in our side, and the truth must prevail. Truth cannot defeat lie. Lie is demon, and that is why I call certain leaders demon leadership, because they are not even leaders as they call themselves. You have in Southern Cameroon and in La Republique, many of those who consider themselves leaders, who are enablers, are actually demon incarnate. They are moving, you see them moving as human beings, but they are actually demons. That is why they kill and suck people's blood without thinking. They know what they are doing. So we just forget calling most of everybody, tying everybody that they are leaders. They are not. Of course, we can call them leaders, but it depends on the type of leadership. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for that answer, Dr. Pa. I don't know if Dr. Yaya or Comrade Walter have any particular question they would like to breach to Dr. Pa before I continue.
No, just move ahead, sir.
Okay, good. So, Dr. Epa, when you review some of the comments that our Ambazonians are putting on Facebook, Ambazonians, we want some of these atrocities that are committed in our LGAs avenged. Some of these things that La Republique is doing to us, we want these things avenged. Ambazonians have had enough. What are some of the things that our people back home and those of us in the diaspora can do to help our LGAs and counties out in the prosecution of this struggle, keeping in mind all these things that are being done to us, and the fact that we want justice, because we know the international community is going to take its time before they give it to us. So what can we do to help the LGAs and the counties out?
First, I have to appeal to our people who are with us, who actually see the light, not darkness, to continue to be firm. That is the first thing I will advise. The devil does not give up. They should understand that. La République is devil, supported by France And I will tie in Britain. Although we claim that we are going to church every day, thinking some said I'm a Catholic, that we receive communion is fake. If Jesus Christ was on earth right now, he will not stand aloof, looking at these atrocities, supporting genocide, supporting burning of houses, burning of whole villages. So what I will say to our people, I know they are intimidated. Some of them are intimidated. What they do, they don't actually mean doing it or doing those things. But they are forced to do it to remain relevant so that they can have their little bit of money, which they get from La Republic. So what I would tell them, please join us, support the boys. Even if you don't support directly, support privately. When you see anything that wants to kill them or do anything wrong to them, report.
Yes.
For our people who are in all the towns and villages, who are maintaining the ghost towns and lockdowns, continue to do so. Even if they lock your store, they threaten you. If you don't open the stores, you will not. They will not open it. You are not going to do business. That is intimidation. Don't fall for that. God is going to take care for you and for your family. I also advise those enablers, both in southern Cameroon's Ambazonia and abroad, that do not cry eventually when this independence is restored. Don't say you didn't know that the war is going on. Some of you are worse than La Republic because you know the truth and you do not want to join the side of truth. You get little money, bloody money from La Republic, and you think that money is going to save you good. But this video will be shown to you when you die because it will be played. All the videos, don't say you didn't know. All the videos will be played before you when you die. They'll show you. God is going to show you. He said, I warn you, but you didn't take heed of it, of all those warnings. So I am telling all of them, please confess, not vague confession. Let it come from your heart. Come back and we shall receive you. But if you continue with the atrocities, helping La Republic, you will find yourself in a deep hole. Not here and now, but thereafter. And you know what I mean by thereafter. We have only a span of period of life to be on this earth. And everything that we do is written in a book of records.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, Dr. Epa, you are 100% correct that not only when we get to the other side, that everything that we've done in this world is written in the book of records. You know, I mean, and as a matter of fact, in this age that we're living in, Dr. Yaya, my brother Walter, you all can attest in the press hour and in being involved in the press that this is an age where everything is documented. Everything is on video. When we've finished this liberation of our lands, anyone who has committed any atrocities, you are on record. There are going to be people who are going to be around who will say, "Now that man Ibi to do this thing, not that guy Ibi to do that one." auditing. None of you are going to be people who have committed crimes against Amazonians. You're not going to escape. So I'm not sure what you all are doing, betraying our people, the Amazonian people. So, Dr. Epau, let's talk about leadership. What does it take from your experience as you've been the leader of the Nguti LGA? What does it take to be a leader of an LGA? What are some of the things that you have done to inspire people? What are some of the things that you've done to take care of people back home? What does it take to be a leader?
Well, before we go to that question of leadership, I want to distinguish. I want to just say briefly some of the type of leaders that we claim that we are. You will have transformational leadership, transactional leadership, and all these have their own different definitions. You will have some in the church. In the church, I would just say spirituality. They will say servant leaders. Some will call it in some jobs. They will say you're applying for a job. They will say they want a strong leader. We don't know what that strong leadership means. Whether it should be one who is authoritarian, who is pushing people around. Those are all the type of leaderships styles that we have in this world, and in fact, including Ambazonia, Southern Cameroons, and La Republique. Everybody thinks that they can be leaders, and some say that they are born leaders. No, there is no such thing like a born leader. You have to study leadership. It's always a slap on people who have studied leadership when they hear that people say, "Oh, that's a born leader." There's nothing like a born leader. No. What they actually say is that there are some leadership, there are some personality traits, such as good voice, handsomeness or beautiness, charismatic. Some even say that's charismatic leader. Those are personality traits that can help you in a situation that requires leadership, but will not consistently help you in other challenges. Once we understand this, we will know that leadership is very complex.
Yes.
And when we talk of transactional leadership simply means that I scratch my back, I scratch your back. Do a good job and I pay you. Promote the people who you love, who are doing a good job, and give them more money. Those are the in-groups that you want to deal with. You don't want to deal with out-groups. That's transactional leadership. But transformational leadership is leadership that has that positive vision, that makes sure that a problem is solved before it happens. And that's what President SAKO is doing. A problem is solved before it happens. If you see all his speeches, he tries to solve the problem before it happens. And when the problem occurs, he handles it immediately, not waiting for the problem to get out of hand. That is where we are. And that is transformational leadership in a nutshell. Sometimes people who are so tied to transformational leadership are considered weak. Why? Because they try to make sure that they call everybody together, even if he has a vision. For me, when I have a vision, I will just call my members in Guti LGA. I will throw it and say, this is an issue. How do you want us to address this? But I know what I want. I know how actually I want it to be, but I will not say it. They will all deliberate. I keep me quiet. I'll be asking questions, making sure that at least one of them will come to my own way of thinking. And sometimes when they are deliberating, they will shape your own vision. They will shape it. Because your own vision might not be too good. But once you involve them in decision making, and if everybody agrees, it becomes a shared vision. Even at your job site, a CEO who just want to push down policies, issues for those who are followers for them to implement. Well, all what they will do is that they will work. They will not work above and beyond the call of duty. They will work minimally, only to receive their paychecks. But where you involve everybody, like what President SAKO is doing, everybody will know that they will buy into that vision, and that vision becomes a shared vision. And they will want to implement it effectively because they took part in that decision making. They take ownership of the organization. They don't say they work for that organization. They say that is the organization you want to make. That's what I try to do in Guti. It is a local government area. It's not me. I tell them all the time. I say, if I drop that now, take over. Fight. Jesus Christ was on earth only for 33 years. I am almost twice that age. Thank God Almighty. So, in Guti, we are organized. We are organized. That is why in Kupe Manunguba, we make sure that Guti is, because if horrible late Nzo Kangaki was alive, he will be on my side. I don't care what other people are doing, whether they are in Yaoundé or they are abroad here and they are making their money. I don't care about that. Horrible Nzo Kangaki, a man who has worked so hard to bring that subdivision up. Everybody knows about Guti because of horrible Nzo Kangaki. Then I see how some people want to take that local government area. Let me use their own, the way they call it, subdivision, and to La Republic. Cut our timbers, collect everything. The timber they get from Guti, they'll go and put the name Sangmalima. And the taxes are paid in Sangmalima. A shame to all those enablers in Yaoundé. I know each and every one of them, even here in abroad. They are planning against me. God is going to take care of all of us. God is going to take care of all of us. I will not see one of the people, Betty, Bamlite, come and take over Guti. Take the land. They are foreign our women. In the next 5 years, the whole Guti town, especially Guti town, will be full of the children from all these villages, all these areas. It's a shame. They even planned for some of our boys to be killed. And when their parents try to agitate, they lock them up that they are supporting terrorists. You kill my own son. I want to cry, agitate. You come and lock me up. It's a shame what our people are doing. This war would have been finished if we didn't have all these enablers who want to feed only their own stomachs and stomach for their children. That is where we are in this struggle. It's not La Republique. La Republique is only using them. God has said, you choose either light or darkness. Choose good or bad. Some of them have chosen bad. Blood is no longer an issue for them. Sharing of blood is no longer an issue for them.
You know, Dr. Epa,
I face challenges every day. I'm on national TV. Some of them can see me now. Some will see it later. But I want to make it very clear to all of them. If Honorable Nzo Kangaki, people like Pa Peter Sapa, Pa Eyeni were all alive, they will be on my side in Guti. And many of them know that when I was in Guti, I made sure that things moved. I made sure that nobody was cheated. I promoted Nguti. Worked with these people who have died. But all these people who have just come now, these small children who have come now, and many who are even of my age, are joining Yaoundé. It's a shame. And that goes to many local government areas and counties. I'm not limiting this from Nguti.
yes,
And advising our people. You can be deceived, but don't be deceived all the time, as my brother has said. You will not know the trend, how this revolution is going. Because your side will never win. And this is the fact. I don't want to call your names. Either from Guti or from Kupe, other local government in Kupe Manunguba, or in other places, in other local government areas and counties in Ambazonia. You will never win. Even if you took over Nguti now, the independence of Southern Cameroon will be actualized. And that is the time you will regret. For those who don't want to contribute, who say that is your thing, and they are here in the United States, in Europe, all over the world, who don't contribute, I'm advising you. Your $1,000 right now is better than $100,000 when we have independence.
Yes.
Mark that language.
you know, Dr.
I want to
Epa,
thank you so much, comrade.
yeah, Dr. Epa, you know, what you've said is so right. You know, we have another comment, you know, coming from one of
You
our
are
viewers
muted.
that says, I am.
No, I can hear him.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Epa, for everything
You are
what you've
muted.
just said.
You are muted.
There's a comment on 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 Facebook where one of our Amazonians, one of our patrons, saying, "I think there is a terrible thing going on now in Matu. To the best of my knowledge, that is what we
I
could
cannot
have
hear
been
you.
focusing our attention to." But what I'm seeing here, do we really know what we're doing? If we cannot show the atrocities that La Republic is committing on our land over our own TV, who who do we then want to show it for us? You know, I personally, I would have liked to have taken the whole show to talk about what is going on in Matu. And as a matter of fact, it is something that we are going to address, that I take scheduled to address when it comes to the Chan, the African Cup of Nations that is supposed to be coming up. Because I don't see how La Republique wants to hold a football cup to entertain Africans, fellow Africans, when they are killing other Africans. Dr. Yaya, is this not ludicrous? An African is killing other Africans and they want to entertain other Africans in the same environment where Africans are being killed. What nonsense is this, Dr. Yaya? I'm not sure if okay, so it looks like Dr. Yaya has been disconnected. So, Comrade Walters, I don't know if you heard the question or not. What nonsense is this that La Republique wants to hold games to entertain other Africans while La Republique is killing Africans in the same vicinity where those games are being held? Is this not the most hypocritical, ludicrous? I mean, there's no words to describe it. What nonsense is this, Comrade Walters?
Sure. The thing is that, as I said, the 2 cubes of sugar that they thought we are, by this time they never believed that there was going to be a war still in progress. They had anticipated that if we have resisted, it will not be for more than 3 months and we will back out. This is coming from the fact that, just as Comrade Dr. Epa said, they were thought because of our Hippocratic and betrayers called the elite, they were going to make use of them, and through this way they were going to act as enablers in order to like misinform us, disinform us, help like a bridge for La Republique to come over, and then from there they would stabilize us and reduce and force us to submission. But throughout this period, La Republique is actually confused at this moment, because not only are they wasting, they are they counting huge casualties, but also the economic is dwindling and it is affecting them very, very much. They are just dying there in silence. Actually, um, the enemy within is worse than the enemy without. But as you understand, the people felt that this was be one of their way to conquer us. But that time has developed in such a way that many southern Cameroonians of goodwill and who are resolute and steadfast and determined and understand what it means for freedom. They understand what it means to live in your own land of your own. They understand what it means to be developed. You must have a free hand. You must be free in order to find a meaningful progress within your environment and your country. If you take a retrospect, before the Union, Southern Cameroon used to be a nation to reckon with. This is a nation that has had a structure and the best bank that you could think even in the whole of West Africa. The testimony is that foreign intruders like the Republic to Cameroon came and even borrowed money from us as loan. They took loans. That's to tell you how this country was. We had airports. There was direct flight from Tico Airport to London and other parts of Africa. the deep sea port we had. But now, if you look at what is going on, all this issue is what they needed. They thought through this way, they will take advantage of us, come in through the elites, and then they will weaken us and then seize the environment. But as you understand, we have been able to demonstrate that we have learned from the past and the present. We will not accept this. You must understand that every generation has its mission. The mission of this generation, as I tell you, is to liberate the land. And that is exactly what is happening now. So we are going to continue to fight. And as you understand, the structure of the LGA is such a one that provides us the possibility and a well-structured base to take off from there. This explains why La Republique does not know how they can shamefully say they are tired, because they have been hiding a lot of casualties that come from their side because they are afraid of awful row within La Republique. But unfortunately, with the Android generation, we have all the images that we are disseminating. This is a call to each and everyone, especially all the sons and daughters in Amazonia. From the very beginning, many people could not see this vision. Many people were not even conscious of what is happening. But now, as we speak, there is no single Southern Cameroonian in the nooks and crannies in the universe that do not talk about Southern Cameroon issue each day before they go to bed. This means that we are connected with ground zero and abroad. So consequently, no one can pretend, no one can think that he will escape from this common struggle. We are really appealing and drawing the attention of people that this battle is what we call a battle of common interest. This means that it benefits everyone. So consequently, it's a cause that we want to encourage each and everyone to reconsider themselves. The great mind made a pronouncement: an unexamined life is not worth living. So when you examine certain issue and you realize that even the abroad that we thought it was a paradise, we have come to discover that home is home. This was long sung by Prince Nikombaga, that if you tour the whole world, you will still end up in your country. Some people are enjoying their liberty, but if you look at their history, they have gone through all these challenges. And now we come just to harvest what we don't merit, or which we had in our own place every reason to be better than even the host countries in which we are. So
Yes.
we are not drawing the attention of each and everyone. Even you were not even ready, just for the fact that you have seen blood littering your own fatherland, your own motherland. That should awaken you to understand that no, they have been able to radicalize you indirectly or directly. So, in any way, you are forced to take a very positive decision, and that is to join the train, because it's a battle that, God forbid, if we lose, everyone will now understand that there was a need for collective effort. But since the struggle is ordained, and since we are putting up hard, even the most strongest nation in the world had advised that country that, listen, we have all sophisticated weapons that you can think of as a big and strong nation in the world. But I tell you the truth, you cannot win this war, because we have tried it, a similar things to other nations where the people were determined and we have failed. You, La Republic, you don't even have enough equipment, as you even claim. You don't have enough resources to wage a war. That's why you see now they are looting, they are just confused, and they don't know exactly what to do. They are just resisting. So consequently, if they are conscious of all these issues, then it would be a need for them to actually come down to the table and talk. And that is why the world has advised that the Swiss Let's Talk is there. Let them come to the table. I also want to thank the leadership because, as you understand, leaders do not just come out like mushroom. They are people of their time and for their people. Such which that they come at a time and they change the dynamic, just like what we are seeing here under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Samuel SAKO Ekome, who has given power back to the people to whom it belongs. And now each and everyone can feel their belonging. Each and everyone can feel their presence. And so we have now a collective front. So there is no reason why any Southern Cameroonian, wherever you are, should not be touched and join this battle for final end. So I'm very sure that as we continue with this discussion, I'm very delighted to continue. I'm very sure that Comrade Dr. Yaya must have been back due to that technical issue. If not so, I'm very sure that Dr. Epang will continue again to enlighten our people so that collectively we can speak with one voice.
Yes, thank you, my
Thank
brother Walter, for that, very detailed response that you've given. I'm going through on through the comment section on from our viewers, and we have a viewer here, Ishmael, who says that we shouldn't spend too much time talking about enablers because in all revolutions, enablers existed. He speaks of the Algerian Revolution. There were the Marxists that who existed, and that France even arms people, which we're seeing in Amazonia also, that French Cameroon has armed vigilantes to be committing atrocities against our own people. Dr. Epa, what as a leader of a local government area, and you take a look at the killings that have happened in Moyoka, which is in the vicinity of where the African Nations Cup about to happen, which we do not want, which it will be stopped. And we're telling all other African countries to side with us and take your players home. Taking all of that into consideration, Dr. Epa, and considering also that we had religious leaders from imams, pastors, all the sorts, protesting in the Boya area, FAKO area, I believe, last week, talking about ending the war. But we see in French Cameroon, we don't see any reciprocal protest by French Cameroonian pastors, French Cameroonian clergy people, French Cameroonian imams. We don't see any reciprocation from those people in their own streets protesting and asking the French Cameroon government to go to the negotiating table. So, Dr. Epa, as a leader of a constituency, what can you say to advise your counterparts who are in French Cameroon, who are supposed to be leaders? What can you say to them to get them to get off their backsides? Let me use a politically correct word, to get off their backsides and actually stand up and demand that their country, that their government in French Cameroon goes to the negotiating table and stops killing innocent people. Please, Dr. Epa.
I think those our brothers and sisters who are in La Republic, who are supporting La Republic right now, many of them are not doing it willingly. Whether you come from Nguti area or you come from Moyoka, Victoria, Munya, Bamenda, Manfe, Womb, everywhere. Some of them, they have nowhere to go. They are forced that if you are going to keep this job, this is what you are going to do. Some of them are just afraid to be killed. But when you are afraid to be killed, you are going to die anyway. Why not die when you speak the truth and you go to heaven? And you know that you have fought a good fight. That is the question I will ask them. But there are some who have the powerful positions who are causing more havoc than the La Republique citizens themselves. Anyway, some of them have taken side, and then they are only La Republique citizens. Some are saying that there have been only one. There's only one. There have been only one independence. Southern Cameroon did not get independence. If only one independent was there, does La Republique observe that their independence day? That is a question. Our people know the truth, but they continue to tell lies to our people. That is intellectual dishonesty. It's a sin crying to heaven for vengeance. Some of us have these PhDs. PhD is nothing. It is not everything. We have to be humble and do the right thing. Whether you were doing something knowingly or unknowingly, at this juncture, your brother, Dr. Epa, is advising all of you, please, please, see the plight of our people. See the blood flowing on our soil. See the situation you have put our people in. Many living in bushes. Some living in La Republique as refugees. Many out of southern Cameroons, especially in Nigeria, Ghana, and even quite near the United States, Mexico, all over the world. The prayers of the displaced, of the wounded, are getting to heaven. What do you think about that? I'm asking you, my brothers and sisters, who are supporting Southern Cameroons, and who are supporting La Republique. Should your personal glory, your stomach, and that of your family members supersede the collective good of our people? As I said again, in Guti, if late Honorable Nzo Kangake was alive today, late Mr. Peter Sapa, late Chief Phobia, an honorable man who worked with me, Payeni, all those people, Martin Akama, all of them worked with me. We were together. We made things happen in Guti before I left. And none of you in Yaoundé know Nguti more than myself. None. I know every village in Nguti local government area. You call it Nguti subdivision. I know every village, but you don't know. Please, please, I'm
you hear me?
begging you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you all hear me?
I think
Yes.
she
Can you
may
all
be
hear
on the
me?
back, right? But I guess what in line with what you're saying, Dr. Epa, I would like us all to let our people, all of you, to go around, Dr. Epa, my brother Walter, and in your, I mean, just repeat this in my dialect. We to kind of emphasize on what Dr. Pai said. We say akong chankaba, meaning love, liking, a pass money. You understand now? Love get for pass money. Some of these things that you're bringing up, Dr. Epa, where people are, they're so in love with money because that's what's the root of all evil. It's not money that's the root of all evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. These people who love money, who love fame, who love being next to power more than they love their people, it's unacceptable. So if you all can maybe find a word in your own dialect or the phrase in your own dialects to let your own people to know that this love of Ambazonia, it pass money, that's what I'm hearing from you and what you're saying, Dr. Epa. Dr. Yeah, I believe you have a statement from
Dr.
the president
Ngwambe,
saying.
sorry to interject. Can you hear me?
Oh, perfectly.
That's correct. We've
I
just
believe you have
got
a
a
statement
communique
from the president's office that you can
from the
that you.
president.
Yes, please go ahead with it.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay, sorry, because I keep having some technical issues. Yes, we've just got a communique from the office of the president regarding the ongoing manslaughter in Mwatu in Fako County. And I'm just going to read that. The office of the president has just been informed of another monstrous act by the colonial armed forces of Cameroon. And by that, we mean French Cameroon. We are told that over 10 unnamed civilians have been killed in cold blood early this morning in the village of Mwatu. The president has been informed and investigations are currently going on. The president extends his condolences to the affected families, calls for calm, and for the village of Mwatu to stay resolute. He will be addressing the issue in the hours ahead. End of quote. The President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome SAKO.
Yes, thank you for that statement. As been noticed, as it has been noted, there will be a release, an additional information coming from the president's office in the coming hours, later on
Yes,
today.
coming.
You know, I think this moment that we're going through in Matu like this, you know, as it's going to be addressed, let's talk about what is coming up at this coming Sunday, Dr. Yaya, you know, and Comrade Walters. We will be having the president with us this coming Sunday, and there'll be an opportunity for people to call in and ask questions of the president. Dr. Yaya and Brother Walters, what can you all enlighten us about this occurrence that's coming up every month? What can you tell us about this?
Well, you see, the
So,
idea here is like the president actually is so attached to his people and he's so concerned to his people and he's really the leader that we can see what was described as being a servant to his people. He understands very well that there is a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there, where is one of the evil arms that they use in order to mislead people on ground zero and also abroad. So the idea of him coming up systematically each time, as from now every month, is to have a direct conversation with the people whom he is saving as a leader. So what happened is like it's a very important gesture that he is doing, because many people have always said they have a message to pass to him. Many people say they would really like to talk with him, and he understands that all the requests that has come, he tries to quiz time to reach out and to make sure that he responds to them. So he will be coming next week, the same time, 8 p.m. prompt, in the press hour. And so it will be like a tradition that his outing once a month in this program will be to inform his people, to share with his people, and to interact with his people in order to be more and more ready and to give them more synergy for us to continue in pursuit of this war in the restoration of our statehood. So it is very, very important. As you understand, uh, one of the reasons that he is coming again to be in touch with his people is to make them to understand the evil plan that La Republic is doing. For instance, you asked last time about the issue of the CAN, which is going to take place. You see, this CAN is what they call the African football competition, which is coming up. And so La Republic thinks that if you use this particular national or international game, the world you will be able to show to the world that things has come to normal in both the northern and southern zone. He is also taking this advantage again to sabotage our struggle because we know very well that during that period, La Republique will target many places where people are standing and they will set those their bombs and they will destroy so many southern Cameroonians in order to show the world that look at these people were telling you they were terrorists. Now you can see their activities. So all this kind of atrocity is what His Excellency will be coming to guide his people. And that's why he sent us ahead to come and prepare the minds of the people so that they know that he is with them. And also to advise everybody, especially where the so-called CAN is going to take place, the African football, that nobody, no Southern Cameroonians should dare pass around that area because intelligence in the ground has already informed us what La Republic is doing. Either you will go into the field, they will bomb the stands, and all of you will be killed in order to show to the world that these are the terrorists we are talking about. During that period, there is going to be mass arrests indiscriminately and indiscriminate shooting during that period. And then they will turn again and show the picture that this is the terrorists. See what they are doing even to their own people. So I want to make all the sons and daughters, wherever they are, to listen that that so-called football competition that is coming is a devilish plan because there is nowhere in the world that you know war is going on. You come to risk the life of people. The Department of Foreign Affairs, under his leadership of Dr. Elat Kizito, had written to all football federations, all international institutions, and even to the countries that are involved, that they should know that that place is unsafe. The reason why they were doing it is because he has made sure that they should not turn tomorrow and point the finger to the innocent Southern Cameroon peaceful people. They know the intention of people like those in Southern Cameroon. They don't have pity. They are blood suckers. These are vampires. And so our intelligence have already recovered all the evil plan. And that's why we are warning the people in advance. The Excellency sent us again before he is coming to make the people to understand that this platform every 8 p.m. Amber time will be used to inform them from time to time so that they are well informed, they are well educated about the evil plan that the Republic has. You heard what Dr. Yaya just read, a press release that was coming from the presidency. Innocent people in Matu has been killed. Women, children, young ones, old ones, harmless people. So this is just an example I want to make. We just want people to understand that we are following up events down on ground zero. The president is not sleeping. 24 hours is up. That's why you see even now he's able to send this information, and that's something that just happened. So you can understand that the situation at hand, we need to inform our people as we are doing now. Please be very, very informed of what is happening. Keep away from these people. Run away from the so-called organized game because it is the last straw that will break the camel's back. and we don't want to lose any of our people. So guide your own self. Run away from anything like Republic because they don't mean anything good. There is nothing coming out from that thing that they want to organize. It's just to distinct people. It's just one of those their scheme to come out again and continue their deflationary tactics by persecuting our people, killing our people through the so-called football. So this is just an advice, and this is a clear information that we are sending coming from the presidency. He will become, His Excellency will be coming, and I feel that each and everyone should do everything possible to be on the alert and to follow up the discussion and even to ask questions directly from His Excellency. So I really want to thank His Excellency for have created this platform so that through this way we can reach out to our people, on ground zero and every other way that they are residing in order to have one-on-one with the president. So it's really a golden opportunity. Just like the president gave back power to you people by creating the county, is to tell you that is a man who wants love. He loves his people. He wants us to be in an inclusive environment. He distributes authority so that everyone should be taken along. So we are actually blessed with this leader. So we'll be looking forward as he comes.
All right, Dr. Ya, over to you. And since you were out, can you just briefly address how is it possible that La Republic can be killing people in Moyoka? Moyoka Dekona place the way they want to hold that African Nations Cup. They kill people in Nana, so then they want to hold football game then after. It don't make any sense. I beg. Explain that for me. Maybe we understand.
And well, I'll just add to what Walter just talk. So the main, just to add, the president outing again I for connect to people on ground zero. So president want make sure they get that access where people if he ask you questions directly. So we get a number where the program will come up again once in a month, and the title not ask the president. So we ask people, say, may they send any question where they there for their heart, anything where they worry them. When I send them through WhatsApp for that number where they go put them on screen very soon. If not, when I go see them on flyers or somewhere, So when I send those questions already starting tomorrow, so that by that Sunday, we don't get enough questions. If we ask president, I want to go hear directly from me. This one no go be now we will they can't try for analyze. They want to go hear directly from the president. So the beg send me all man. When I send those questions, when I make sure it's not day, so that when I exchange, because one of the problems we get for this revolution now hearsay. So one will say, oh, that's SAKO my trip to Boya and this. When you hear something over and over and over and over, it becomes a truth, even if it might not be, So you find for hear from the horse's mouth, and then when that connection will be actually cemented. So now coming to Dr. Ngwambe's question about the killing where they go on for Mwatu. Again, like Dr. Epa so well, I mean, he don't just give with so much wisdom this evening. He just made me think about, the southern Cameroons of my father, the days of my father, you saw men of honor, you saw men of virtue, you saw men of character, we've lost all of this today. Nowadays, you just see people who care about their stomachs, about, fake titles. They follow lies and are actually turning them into truths and actually making believe, fooling themselves. We don't have people of integrity nowadays. By that, I mean people who stand up in adversity to say, this is wrong, So when we have a generation, a breed like Dr. Epa, we are truly blessed. This is the kind of Ambazonia we want to build. This is the kind of Southern Cameroon that was. Most of his generations, as we can hear him list them, they are no more. But we're blessed to have people like him and a few others, to actually learn from and look forward to having an Ambazonia, with really people of honor and dignity. So coming back, to what's happening in Mwatu, which is really, really terrible. Again, an onslaught of civilians, killing of babies, women, children who haven't done anything. They didn't attack anybody. So this is just a forerunner of what the enemy plans to do with these games. Again, like my able colleague, Walter said, La République du Cameroon is trying to use these games to tell the world that, oh, I'm in control, everything is going on. I just have some internal issues and we're taking control over them. Look at this. We're having this massive sporting activity. And they're taking advantage of the fact that sports is actually a unifying, what do I say, event. People might disagree on different things, but if they support the same football, they have a passion for the same thing, they seem to agree at least for that moment. So this again is another attempt, in as part of their window dressing solutions, trying to force this impression on the international community that everything is going fine. But it is a lie. And we have seen them starting to build their game. First of all of what they're doing today in Mwatu is intimidation, and maiming, trying to tell our people, if you dare, this is what you're going to get. And they always try to turn these stories around, but good enough. I think the good thing is that the international world knows the truth. It's too late for La République. The message we are sending here is actually not to La République, but rather to our people. Don't be a part of this. We shall have our games. We had well organized tournaments in those days and all of that. We will have those things. Osuks, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was one of them. So don't be a part of this. Respect what your interim government is telling you, because it says that for your safety. The Amazonian Restoration Forces will handle this situation. Civilians, please stay at home. Follow what your government tells you. Do not be fooled by the little envelopes that they come to give you. You can see what's happening in Watu. What did these people do? Just nothing. And if their lives doesn't mean a thing to you and you still play alongside such people, it means you're a killer as well. It means you're truly a killer. So a word to the wise, our people, follow what your government is going to tell you to do. Our restoration forces are going to handle this so-called can that is banned in our land. It is not going to happen in our land, and that's how it stays. So thank you.
Dr. Ya, you're 100% correct on that. When you go through the comments of people who are aware of what La Republic has done to our people, there are people who are beginning to have bad blood for French Cameroon. I'm one of them. I don't even want to see them after our independence. And there are people who are describing La Republic as mad dogs, and they deserve no mercy. And they're telling the truth. Any La Republic enabler, any La Republic soldier that our forces catch, show them no mercy, because they're not showing our people no mercy. I mean, just like I said at the beginning of the show, looking at the pictures of the women, the children, elementary age children that French Cameroon operatives, their soldiers, have killed in Matu this morning. It is unacceptable, and it is even more unacceptable that there are African countries that are coming to Ambazonia to endorse a French Cameroon leadership that is murdering innocent non-combatants. I don't know what France is thinking when they are supporting some of these dictators, because these dictators drag down everybody with them. They need to cut the rope of French Cameroon and back us to restore our independence, because we are an upright people. We're an honorable people. Like you said, listening to Dr. Epa, these are the people who have taught us, our parents, our grandparents. They raised us. They taught us. They gave us all these good virtues, all these good, character. Like Dr. Epa said, just having a PhD doesn't mean anything. Growing up, my mom used to always tell me that you can be the most intelligent person in the world, but if you have no character, it's meaningless. And that's the truth. You can have that PhD in your pocket. You can have that first degree in your pocket. You can have money in the world, but if you have no character, it's meaningless. Paul Biya is the president of French Cameroon. He has no character. It's meaningless. He's not doing anything good about it to help his own people. The WhatsApp numbers call, our people, Ambazonians. If you have anything to say about what's going on in Matu, if you have anything to say about our liberation struggle, please chime in. Please call in and let French Cameroon and the world know what you think about what is going on in our country.
And just to add, whilst we're waiting for the call, I think we just have a mistake with the number. Just take off the 1 and just call +35, please.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're also, asking everybody to be active. Get active on Twitter. We'll check out these handles, Twitter handles, and share around, and write. Of course, the Department of Foreign Affairs is taking charge of that. But individually, we can also send a massive outcry to the social media world through Twitter and sort. Advising these countries not to partake in this so-called can. I don't know what the abbreviation actually stands for, because one, there's danger, there's insecurity. It's not safe for them. It is not safe for our locals out there, and they would be actually siding with a genocidal government by actually participating
Correct.
in this. So let us all, be warriors, contribute, because we need financial support for Amazonian restoration forces. This act today is a sign of intimidation from the La Republique terrorist forces, but we know that we've seen that before. So yeah, this is not new. So we know what we want. Can is banned in Amazonia. Please get out on Twitter and massively pour out, to the international society or the international world, what is going on, and telling them this is not happening on our land. It is trading on foreign territory. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Epa. When I was on Comrade Fritz's show yesterday, shout out to our brother Fritz on his Saturday show at 8 p.m. He went through a list of all these different French Cameroon citizens who have been posted in our country in all different levels of administration, thus showing to the rest of the world and to Amazonians that we are in occupied territory. Does it surprise you when you have all these French Cameroonians inside our territory in administrative positions and in military positions? Does it surprise you that when they are killing us, they show us no mercy? Dr. Epa. Comrade Walter, please, it looks like Dr. Epa, we can't hear him.
Dr. Epa is on. He's muted. Dr. Epa, can you unmute, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. When you have administrators from La Republique sent to us, it's a slap on our faces. It's a slap on the faces of our people who are there in Yaoundé supporting the genocide to take place. Some of them do not even know what they are doing. They have only one small school called School of Magistracy and what?
Administration.
And administrative something. That is the only school. I did masters in public administration in the United States, and I have a PhD in educational administration. And when I see some of them, even here in the United States, I argue with white people about administration. They are not administrators. They know little or nothing. In fact, when I went to Yaoundé, I met one of the professors teaching in one of those schools, told me that those who teach are not even administrators, who have studied administration. Administration combines leadership and management.
Yeah.
Many of them are the worst managers. There's a distinction between management and leadership. Many organizations have focused so much on management rather than leadership.
Yeah, just wait. Yeah, just wait for a while.
People
Then they
cannot
will
be
open the
managed.
door. After this person talks, yes, immediately person talk will
Only
pause. Open the door.
inventories can be managed, projects can be managed, but people must be led. So when you see them, they don't know what they are doing.
Yep.
Now, of what use are they in a place? In those are local government and the counties. They have no use. They are there only to make sure that they get the natural resources that we have. And that is the fact. When I see our people who should know, who know better, but refused, whether they are intimidated. Some of them I know they are intimidated and they want to keep their jobs, but they have a chance for them to run away from that country like other and go out. But they choose to be with the only. So let's forget that they are even administrators. We can call them demon dubious administrators. Demon dubious. Demon dubious administrators. And if they want to call themselves leadership or leaders, then they are demon dubious leaders. That is what EPA says as an authority. Demon dubious is not only the one leaders, transnational leaders. I have brought demon dubious who exist in La Republic and many parts of the world, even here in the United States. Let me go back to the Africans who are coming to Southern Cameroons. Countries like Namibia are doing very good. They should think very critically before they come to Ambazonia. I want to advise all of them. They have kept quiet all this while for 4 years since the revolution started. The African Union is a toothless bulldog. They can't speak out, but they call themselves leaders, waiting for Europeans and Americans to first make the move. Then they follow. They're not leaders, they're followers. And that's why even President Trump said, shithole countries. In other words, shithole leaders. Even
Yep.
though he has his own problem too. Here in the United States. I will go back to a question that was asked, how I see about the religious people who are meeting in Boya, protesting and all that. Look, forget about the titles. Whether you're the imam, the bishop, of the Catholic, I'm a Catholic, of a Catholic denomination, pastors, bishops of other denominations like the Baptists and others. Forget about those titles. They are human beings. When I go to church, I don't care what the priest or the bishop is saying. I pray to God. You have to know God for yourself.
Yep.
I advise our people. You can listen to what they say in church, but know God for yourself.
Yep.
Know God for yourself. No pastor, no bishop, no pope is going to make you go to heaven. It is you yourself. Okay? Forget about those titles. Some of them are the worst enablers. Forget whether somebody is cardinal, the pope. Forget about that. Where are they? Have they spoken out? Are they not part of the enabler? I want to advise. I don't think go to church. Go there when they're reading the gospel. The gospel is the words of God. The words of God. Listen. If you are not educated, listen and put into practice what the word says. Know what the pastor is saying, because some go behind and do dubious things. They manipulate people, get money, and then buy fancy cars and drive. And you are there, cannot even pay the child school fees. Very schools that you are giving money.
Yes, Dr. Epa, it seems as if we're beginning to get some calls from Ground Zero. Comrade Walter, is there anybody on now?
Yeah. Thank you
Yes.
again.
Thank you, Dr. Epa.
I'm sure that you could draw the attention. Whoever wants to call now, I think we are ready to pick from the call.
Yes, please. Let's please. Anyone who was trying to call in, please call in again. If when you call in, we'll just interject. We'll just be ready to stop. So, Dr. Epa, I don't know if you had anything any more to say, or if Dr. Yaya or anyone else has more to add.
Well, let me speak to the restoration forces.
Okay, one call is just coming now. Let's just pick it up. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, comrade. Yeah, can you be a little bit audible? Who is calling and from where, sir? Okay, excellent. So I'm very sure that you are following the program. So what do you have? Okay. Okay.
Who cannot hear you?
Can you be a little bit louder, please, so that they can get you? Yeah.
But what are we as Amazonians doing? What are we doing as Amazonians to stop this?
Sorry for that technical, comrade. Sorry for that technical issue. I think now you are on speaker, so when you speak, everybody will get it clearly now. May I plead with you just to start again from the beginning and then make it snappy?
Yeah, I'm saying that we are in a state of consternation about what has happened in Mautid. But I am not surprised personally, because this is not the first instance of a genocide or such a massacre. There was Ngabu, Menka, Minyonge, and so on. The question is, what are we as Amazonians doing to put an end to this demonism? What are we doing? They drive through our streets, drive through our town communities, go and communities and come back and go back to their base, and we just stay and watch. We must stand up. This is the challenge of our destiny. We must stand up and face these demons, because that is what Francophones are. Francophones are demons. We must treat them as such. We are going to come out of this. It is unbelievable that they come into our. How many of them are there? A few thousand of them. We are millions in Amazonia. Can we rise up as collectively as a people and end this nonsense? That is the challenge that is facing us. Secondly, let me talk about those pastors that were praying for peace. There again, I'm not surprised. It is a sin. If you do not know, it's a sin to call those criminals pastors. They are not pastors. Those Pharisees, they are criminals. Remember, there are very people who said that reconciliation should go on in the midst of war. must not hold. The massacre in Multitude, they are trying to preempt what we want to do to prevent that sham from holding. It must not hold, please. It must, whatever it takes, it must not hold. Then I continue to ask the question: what are Francophones doing in our communities? What are Francophones doing here in our communities? No Francophone has been killed since this crisis started. They go along manipulating, setting us up, doing their businesses, making their money here, while their demons come in, kill, destroy for their sake. What the hell are we waiting for? Francophone, no Francophone should be living in Amazonia at this time. No Francophone. We should become more radical than we are. We should become very angry. Like this American statement said, Cohen, we are not angry enough. Amazon are not angry enough. That's why these petty them must come in here and do what they are doing to us. We must stand up, please. That is my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, comrade. I think it is well elaborate, and I really feel the same like you as a Cameroonian, that I think we are very conscious of this, and we are pleading that each and every one, as you hear our caller right from ground zero, who understand what is going on, is drawing the attention that the responsibility should be that of each and every southern Cameroonian. You just need to find a way and do your contribution, and also you draft as well as empower your LDA, and also to group yourself just within your environment and try to see how you can contribute in the restoration of our state in any way. Trust me, we are facing a battle, and I'm happy that our people on Ground Zero know very well that these are people who are extremely wicked. Yes, and the issue of these clergymen, I think that they should understand. I think all what they are thinking is about their arms. When they come to church, they collect their offering and they go and eat and think they feel that that is fine. They don't care what is going on. I begin to ask myself, what is really this religion all about? What is really this preaching that they are bringing that you cannot see the practical part of it? Are they not conscious of what is happening? All right, let's pick another caller here, please. Thank you. Hello, comrade.
Hello?
Yeah, so you are live now. I just want you to know that you are live, and maybe to talk where you are calling. If you would prefer to say a name, fine. If not, just go ahead to ask your question or your contribution. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, we have seen the loss of our fellow ambassador too. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Are you getting me? Am I?
Yes, you are live. We are getting you.
Okay. I'm calling from Germany.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, I just want to extend my sympathy to the lost, to the family of the lost, to the family of those who have been murdered in Mautu. So I'm calling for the rest of Southern Cameroonians to stay away from CAF, the so-called Shanda they are going to organize, because the military of the Republic don't spare anything. Let's pray for them. Their soul rest in peace.
Yeah. Thank you very much, scholar. I'm very glad that almost all the Southern Cameroonians in the nooks and crannies understand very well about this scheme that is coming up in the name of so-called football. I don't know what football is bringing to us, especially at this moment. We are not asking for football entertainment. So we are talking about the liberation of our land and what they call the possibility to actually address the immediate problem that we are facing now. And so I will be grateful to open the line again for more information and for more interaction before we go back to the press hour. So the phone line is open, sir. Yes. One caller has just sent a text message which reads, "This is the highest level of wickedness exhibited by Yaoundé in our land. Something needs
Yep.
to be done and fast." Okay. Dr. Komrengwabe, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So
So,
while we are waiting for the call, we could proceed if we still have some time.
so as you all can see, Doctor, yeah, as you can see, our people in ground zero, Ambazonians, we want blood. You understand now? We want an equal response for what we have been given. The international community should be watching because they have not put, people have been talking about this right to protect, where when the international community sees certain acts of genocide being committed against people, they're supposed to send in troops to quell down the situation. They are watching La Republic slaughter us. And while La Republic is slaughtering us, they want to play a football game. I don't know if you, I keep bringing it up because it's just madness, and it doesn't really leave me speechless, but it's a madness that I don't understand. And I don't understand these are fellow African brothers in other countries who are coming to play this football in our land. I don't get it. You're mute, Dr. Yaya.
Oh, I'm so sorry. With our own people on the ground, we're not saying everybody. I'm talking those enablers or those neutral people who stand on the fence and say, "Oh, this is sports" and all of that. I just want to remind them, of the inequality and injustice and that we have suffered in the past. Let's just look at recently when what's his name? Sorry, Tato passed on. If this was a country that actually respected its its football stars or sports icons, at least in those days we were still so-called United Republic, or I don't know whatever appellation that was. But this is a guy that was a better ambassador of that country than the so-called French Cameroon president Paul Biya. But he died, and he was just a fly. There was nothing to honor him. So we have a lot of our people saying, "Oh, it's football, it's a friendly game, it's a this." Even in that, you still see that you're being treated as a second or third class citizen. We saw the death of Maradona. Oh my God, my battery is running down. We saw the death of Maradona, and we saw, the kind of honorable homecoming that was given to him by the president. So Tato never had that. So I'm not sure our people who have lost their sense of dignity, in fact, their sense of identity. Who are you really? Must you hang on to somebody? Must you be called? Must you lean on La République du Cameroun, which has constantly treated you as a piece of rag? It is time to stand up and say, "This is who I am. I'm not going to be defined by you." So we're telling all these countries that are participating, do not be an ally of this genocide. Rwanda itself, which has suffered genocide in front of our eyes, and the international community said this is never ever going to happen again, they are participating in this game. So we really need to reach out to them and stop them, or tell them that if they are doing this, then it means they actually endorse the genocide that happened in the country, because this is what is happening right now, especially with the current carnage that has just taken place in Mwatu. So, I mean, for our people, we need to actually contribute, fundraise, support Amazonian restoration forces to stop these illegal terrorists from actually coming to invade our land. I think the message the president sent out today was very clear. Our restoration forces, go after them. Our restoration forces, Amazonian restoration forces, go after them. So we own our land, we control our land. Those were very clear words from a president. So everybody should do something. Right now, we have 5 days to go. There's something you can do. You can go on Twitter and decry and stop this nonsensical gathering from happening. First of all, for the security of the participants, for the security of civilians that are already being slaughtered, and for the fact that there is simply insecurity on the ground. And those who cannot do that, they should also fundraise and support their counties, their LGAs to actually. In fact, this is not a question of LGA. It concerns FAKO, which is our capital city. So it is a national emergency. We are calling on everybody to chip in something, to help support our forces, our restoration forces in FAKO, to actually counter this carnage that they are planning. But we still stand strong that Ambazonia is free, is going to be free, whether can or not. But there's no can happening. Thank you.
Thank you for those statements, Dr. Ya. Dr. Epa, I don't even know. I always like to talk about French Cameroonians because I don't know what the hell is wrong with French Cameroonians. These people, they take too much. I'm gonna say it, shit. They take too much shit. And this football that they're so infatuated with and they love it so much, over fixing their country. I'm going to draw people back all the way back to the 1995, 96, 97, 98, around that time period. The Olympics that were had in Atlanta. And the French Cameroon football team came to Atlanta to play football. I think that was around the time when that so-called money that was supposed to be sent to help pay for the football games, it disappeared in the plane. And the French Cameroon football players and some of our Ambazonian brothers who are on that team were not able to be paid. I'm sure some of you are old enough to remember it so that we don't betray some of our ages here. You all cannot imagine that in Atlanta, we fundraised money from fellow Africans to help feed French Cameroonian and Ambazonian football players during that World Cup because of that money was lost. How some of these people, all the types of things we did just because of that ineptness, the corruption that is French Cameroon. You remember when the French Cameroon team even went to Brazil and they had a fight in the hotel there and all that kind of stuff, all because of this mismanagement over money and all these kind of things that they're doing. I don't know, when these African football teams, they look at some of this stuff, we cannot even have a world-class environment for our African players to be trained in so that they wouldn't have to go to Europe to go and get rich, to go and be trained in a proper football club because of these corrupt, inept African leaders. Left to me, all this football should stop and let us fix our continent and our country because that's where we have to start from.
Right.
Africa, French Cameroon, Amazonia is starting with itself. We're looking inside ourselves. We are fixing ourselves. We are fixing our country. You all need to fix your country. I said it yesterday. You all need to fix your country. Because if you keeping Ambazonia does not help you all fix your country. Dr. Epa, I mean, what can you say to French? I keep asking, tell French Cameroonians, because I see people talking about we should be talking to the international. We are talking to the international community. Unfortunately, we cannot come out and be saying that they're doing because you have to keep these things close to the chest. But we are engaging with the international community, but on a one-to-one basis, human-to-human basis, Ambazonian to French Cameroonian basis. Dr. Epa, Comrade Walters, Dr. Ya, we'll start with Dr. Epa first. Please, what can we tell French Cameroonians that can motivate them to get off their ass and stand up to their government who is mismanaging everything? That country is an embarrassment. Dr. Epa, please. And
they have been despoiled of their minds. Came with the ideology of assimilation. They have been assimilated. They do not think in the light of the way Southern Cameroonians think. All what they know is get money from dance and that's it. So it takes a very long time for them to change that mentality. We can spend time here talking about non-republic citizens. Even here in the United States, I've spoken to some of them. Because they don't think in the light of development. They go with the flow of what is happening at that time. In the shop broke pot. Okay? That's what they know. They do not question the authorities. The days of the Maquisard, the Bamileke helped to come to our country, Southern Cameroon. They are. And my brother, you think they like the situation? They themselves don't like it, but they cannot speak out. Then what of those who are coming from outside? So what I can say is that let's continue to do what we are doing. Leave alone the La Republic citizens. Maybe one day God will make them understand exactly how their country is. They know that their country is not the way it used to be. Because the money no longer coming from Southern Cameroon. They are crying foul. They think that's the way they will live. And then come and sit back. They will not be able. Even the games that they are going to play, come and play in Amazonia. The Africans, I'm begging all of us to start using the name of leadership in a different light. Many of them who are presidents are managers. Some of them could be good managers. Some will be bad managers. If we want to use the word leadership, let us say they are transactional leadership. They are transactional leaders. They are not transformational leaders. That is why Africa is still in the dark ages. They don't evolve. Transformational leaders in Africa have died.
Yeah.
They are not still alive. We might have some. A few are trying to come up, but they are being dominated by the West, especially France. Even those who were not colonized by the French are under the canopy of the French. Shameful.
Yes, Dr. Epap. Yes. Closing statements, Dr. Yaya. Let us start with you, my dear sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was an honor being with this wonderful panel, especially with our special guest, Dr. Epap. I just want to close, reminding us of what the president said. We own our land, so we control what happens on our land. Amazonia is our land, therefore there's no kind. There are no foreign activities that are going to happen on our land, and that stays. That's from the Commander-in-Chief to the Amazonian Restoration Forces. The message is clean, the message is clear, the message is succinct. So now to the people of Amazonia, when I listen fine, when I listen for our president, it's a man of who I say, I want to go watch football. That football not again you anything. When I see how they don't kill with people, the football, you caught mommy picking them, where they don't do nothing. So if you been a you tomorrow, say because you want to go watch football match, that football match not will change nothing for your life. So please respect what your interim government go tell when stay for house, and for we for diaspora, we'll go on Twitter. Let us go on Twitter aggressively and stop and talk to those countries that are participating, especially Rwanda and the other participants that are supposed to be in FAKO. And also we have to fundraise aggressively. We can do a lot within 5 days to support, our county marshals, our federal marshals to stop this nonsense that's about to happen, or that they think is about to happen in our land. Thank you, Amazonia. Our condolences to the families that are affected and to all those who have lost their lives in this great cause. Thank you. God bless you. Till next Sunday.
Comrade Walter.
Yeah, just to acknowledge the presence of each and every one the press secretary, Comrade Dr. Yaya, also our senior uh, statesman with a very rich insight about the Southern Cameroon struggle, Dr. Epa. We are really delighted for your wisdom, and I feel that we will always expect you to come and educate our people so that collectively we can grow in this awareness in order to guide ourselves. And just to tell the people that in the restoration of our struggle, many things will happen. And all this odd thing is just helping us to be more strong because we know very well that they were to come. We know what it means, the price to pay. But this price is a worth paying because it is very just. So my last word will just be say, I want to appeal for the people say this, so think about them. This international game where they want to organize am for outside, no be say they really like am, na say they get some skill where they want fulfill am. And as I tell una, intelligence don't come for we say na this one they wan use am now for massacre Southern Cameroonians the many during that period. And then they go turn say na the restoration forces they don't do am. And then show international community say una see wetin we don dey tell una. They also want use am for social okay, everything don't come for normal. Wey not be not true. It be far away for that. So the situation now will be for every person as already. We wanna be very vigilant. We wanna follow the instruction where interim government go give am. And next week, we will be here for una president for this same platform, 8 p.m. Amber time prompt. So we really want to thank all una. And anytime we una get something for do, this number na number we una go call am each time we come for press hour so that una fit contribute and then una fit also share with we because all we will be na one and one will be all. So I just want to thank everyone again very much for this program and then we look forward for next week.
Dr. Epa.
My brothers and sisters, me I dey thank una all what for as when I don't listen for we. May when I stay strong, may when I not shake, may man not confuse when I this way independence we will get them. We don't go far.
Amen.
No country for this world I don't fight independence. And yes, they don't reach this type of level where we don't reach. All our restoration forces may wanna be saved. We love one. We love one. When a cafe they up. When they do very good job. For make sure say we get we independence back. That time, all people would be against one, they will can't join one. For the book of Psalms,
Yes.
Psalm 23, it talks say, the table we God don't set them for one. It will come for pass. For the presence, for your enemy. And your enemy, this time, they will laugh with one another. They laugh against one another. They will glorify God. They say, now God don't do it. That time, God will draw their soul nearer himself. And they too will come to God. Now, let me speak in English. For those who are coming from other countries trying to play this game. You do not like what happened to your own countries where your people were slaughtered. Your people were slaughtered, millions of them, like Rwanda. You are now coming to Amazonia to support Mr. Paul Biya for a bad work we did one. Remember that all that blood will go for you. For some of our country, where there is support Paul Biya for provide army. Chad and other countries where there is help Paul Biya for provide army. May we not forget the evil that men do lives after them. It will haunt you people, and I not say that you were not told. You want to come to Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia for the game? Prepare yourself. Put your army, or maybe they'll take you only in their armor cards, and the world will know how you are supporting genocide. For our people in foreign lands, refugee camps, and those in bushes, those internally displaced, the one who are sick, may when I just give when I had for God. Light in the camp. Light in the camp. Light in the camp. I don't talk them 3 times. And one day we will laugh. And it will be over. I want to thank you all very much.
Right. Fellow Amazonians, God knew that British cultures and French cultures could not coexist in the same country. That's why he separated Britain and France with the huge river called the English Channel. Inside our own lands, French Cameroon and Amazonia, which is the former British Cameroon, is also separated by the Mungo because God knew we could not exist in the same country or in the same region. My fellow Amazonians, we know we're not the same people as French Cameroon, and they have just confirmed again to us today by the killings in Matu, in Moyoka, LJ, that they do not love us. When someone shows you who they are, listen. Listen. My fellow Africans, do not support French Cameroon in the killing of Amazonians. Do not participate in the African Nations Cup within our lands. It is not safe. You all are seeing it. It's not safe. They're killing people in the same place. Our condolences to the families, to our Amazonian families who have lost people today. Our heartfelt condolences. It is burning many of us, and we're going to back it. No fear, we go back on. My fellow Amazonians, next week we're going to be talking with the president. The phone number that was on the screen, please send your questions there. Please be prepared to call in and ask questions to our president. Please join us next week on Amazonia Press Hour, every Sunday at 8 p.m. God bless the people of Amazonia. We love you. God bless you all. Stay safe.
Glory to the Father for making you a nation.